What's poppin' YouTube? It's FSUETL. Today I come at you with another Pokemon Go video because I'm literally addicted to the game, alright? I don't care if the update killed the game. I'm still loving the game, alright? It makes it more challenging, but the update was pretty bad because they took out fucking tracking. Like, how fucking dumb? Anyway, that's a whole nother video. Today we're going to be talking about the legendary Pokemon in Pokemon Go, specifically the legendary birds. We're going to be talking about Zapdos, Articuno, and Moltres, if that's how you pronounce it. I don't know. Moltres, it's literally the motherfucker from Hunger Games, right? Tell me they look different. They are literally identical. So it seems like one of the biggest questions from Pokemon Go players is how do we get these legendary Pokemon, specifically the legendary birds? And today I'm going to help you guys answer that question, and also towards the second half of the video, we're going to dive into some fan theory shit. And it's going to be fun because theories are always fun to talk about, even though they're most likely not going to happen. Theories are still fun to talk about, all right? It's good to wish for nice things, right? But I feel like Niantic is going to just pull a Titanic and just not even release any legendaries, and they're just going to like kill their game at the rate they're fucking releasing updates. So a ton of people have been asking me in the comments, on Twitter, even in fucking real life, FSUETL, how do I get these legendary birds? And the simple answer is you can't get them yet, but they're in the game. What I mean by that is if you dig into the Pokemon coding or just simply look at the Pokédex, you can see that these legendary birds alongside Mew in Mewtwo, which we'll get to that later on, but the legendary birds are in the game, but no one has been able to catch one of these legendary birds. And the reason why is it's actually kind of smart. Niantic and Pokemon want to save these legendary birds for a later date because they're most likely going to do some sort of special events to catch these legendary birds. But that's kind of a theory. We're going to talk about that later in the video. But the only thing that was confirmed is at Comic-Con, it was confirmed that the only way to catch a legendary bird, it depends on what team you're on. So for example, if you're on Team Mystic, obviously the only legendary bird you'll be able to catch is Articuno, and vice versa for Team Instinct. The only legendary bird you'll be able to catch is Zapdos, which I'd probably pronounce that wrong, but me personally, I feel like that one looks the coolest. But then again, Team Instinct, they're a little off, you know what I'm saying? And Team Valor, or Valor, however you pronounce it, people pronounce it differently. The only bird you'll be able to catch is Moltres, also known as the motherfucker from the Hunger Games, right? So it depends on what team you're on. So you better like your team because you're going to have to stick with that team and get that bird because currently there's no way to switch your team. So that is the only way you can get a specific bird. So you can't really get all three birds, like technically speaking, because obviously you can't be on all three teams. So there's really no way to catch them all when you think about that. That is some false advertising. I'm suing Niantic. So to answer the legendary question, you see what I did there? Legendary bird. Okay, all right. I apologize. To answer the question, no, you can't catch any legendary birds or legendary Pokemon in general at the moment. All right, now down the road, Niantic and Pokemon are going to allow us to catch these legendary birds, but we're not sure how they're going to let us catch these legendary birds. It actually makes sense what they're doing because obviously by holding off the legendary birds, it's going to keep people playing the game for a longer amount of time. Because imagine if right off the bat when the game first came out, when the servers were complete shit, they allowed people to catch legendary Pokemon. Like by now, there would be that one person who has literally everything caught except obviously the two other birds he can't catch, and then he basically just beat the game and there'd be no point in him playing anymore. So as a business standpoint, it makes sense to hold off these legendary Pokemon until a later date when, you know, the game starts to get stale and they need an update. They can just release these legendary Pokemon as an update. So it does make sense as a business. So I'll give a round of applause to Niantic for that. They kind of know what they're doing. Somewhat. Not really. They're having trouble. Like I said, they're Titanic now. They're fucking Titanic. But we're going to turn the game around here, people, because I have some theories that are pretty cool and I want to dive into on how we might be able to get these legendary Pokemon. There's been a ton of rumors around Reddit. I've really been paying attention to the Pokemon Go Reddit. It's actually pretty cool. And most of these rumors revolve around either some sort of event around these legendary Pokemon. We're going to be able to earn them in some sort of battle. And then there's also rumors that they're going to actually allow you to catch these in the wild, but obviously they're going to be extremely rare. And then there's other rumors, and these are a little bit of weird rumors, but they are pretty cool, that you're going to have to be able to take over a certain amount of gyms in order to unlock a legendary Pokemon. And I don't think that one's going to happen because obviously you can kind of rig it and like you can get you and your friend and just take the gym back and forth until you are able to unlock a legendary Pokemon. So I don't think that's going to happen. Me personally, I think the only rumor that actually holds holds some ground and is believable is events. Events in major cities or just worldwide events to catch these legendary Pokemon. Maybe they'll happen once every 2 weeks or once a month. It does seem like this is a really good possibility because in the Pokemon Go trailer that came out like a year ago or even more, it shows Mewtwo basically just trying to get caught by all these people in Times Square. And it looks like some sort of event going on. Now, obviously, this commercial was made about a year ago, so you have to keep that in mind. But it looks like there's some sort of event involving this legendary Pokemon where people are trying to catch it, and it's only basically there for a certain amount of time. It seems like this is going to be the types of events that we're going to be getting with these legendary Pokemon. Now, keep in mind, that was a Mewtwo, not a legendary bird. So like I said, it might be different for the legendary birds, or it might be the same. Who knows? But me personally, I feel like like some sort of event, maybe a tournament or something, but most likely some sort of event where people can get together and catch a legendary bird for like a specific amount of time. That seems like the one that's most likely going to happen, because there actually was a rumor a few weeks ago when Comic-Con was going on that they were going to spawn a legendary Pokemon at Comic-Con at the Pokemon Go booth, and they never did, but it was a rumor, and it probably was actually going to happen, but they probably canceled it for some reason, maybe server issues, or just they felt like, you know what, fuck it, we're not going to do it. But there was a rumor that they were going to reveal a legendary Pokemon to the public at Comic-Con. So obviously that didn't happen, but if there was a rumor that was going to happen, it seems like obviously, okay, these are probably going to revolve around some sort of event in a major city or maybe even worldwide where you can catch a legendary Pokemon. Now, I hate to say it, because I'm not a fan of this either, but it's probably just going to be in major cities, because for those of us that don't live in major cities or live in like the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, we're kind of fucked because we have to travel the world to get a legendary Pokemon, just like those regional locked Pokemon as well. It's fucking dumb, dude. Like, I'm not going to cross the Atlantic Ocean to get a legendary Pokemon, you know what I mean? I'm going to stay in the middle of my ocean while I'm protected, because shit's going crazy over the world, all right? We got terrorist attacks everywhere, dude. In the Atlantic Ocean, it's safe, man. But jokes aside, it's probably going to be based in cities because Niantic, you know, they're a little money hungry, right? They can use some money, and I would be money hungry if I was the owners of Pokemon Go too. So it makes sense from a business standpoint that they would want to do events in major cities, obviously to get people to travel to the city and pay like a fee for the event or some shit like that. Like they have kind of like at Comic-Con where they had a booth. Obviously people pay money to come in, and then they spawn a legendary Pokemon. So it's kind of like a win-win. The company gets some money, players get the legendary Pokemon, and it's all fucking, it's just fucking amazing. It's just a giant circle jerk at Comic-Con. Obviously it's not gonna happen at Comic-Con because it already happened, but I'm looking forward to some sort of event taking place in maybe the next month or so. Honestly, I can see something like that happening in about a month, to be honest, because the game right now, it's getting pretty stale, and I expect in a few weeks we get an update with a lot of bug fixes, and we're gonna fix the tracking, fix all the server issues, and then in roughly a month, maybe a little less than a month, we're gonna get this big update because they've been working on trading for a long time, and I feel like with trading, they're gonna either unlock these legendary Pokemon or tell us how we can unlock these legendary Pokemon, and they are pretty badass, I have to admit. So if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. If you enjoyed this video, smack a like on the video, and let me know in the comment section below what your opinions are on these badass legendary Pokemon. Also, you know what, I have a little comment question of the day here. I'm just gonna ask myself this because it pertains to the video, but if you're new to the channel, at the end of all my videos, I'm starting this new thing where I'm gonna do a comment question of the day. I'm gonna answer one of your questions at the end of my video, so I don't have to do a full Q&A video, all right? It saves us time, and it's like a mini Q&A in every video, so it's pretty fucking sweet, right? I'm gonna answer this question even though no one asked it. I just think it's a cool question, right? What's your favorite legendary bird? All right, obviously the choices are Zapdos, which is the instinct bird, or I probably pronounced that really badly, I apologize. Articuno, which is Team Mystic, and then Moltres, which is the Team Valor bird, or Valor, however you say that, dude. I've heard people say it like Team Valor, and I've heard people pronounce it Team Valor, like Valor. Like, it's just, there's a ton of ways to pronounce it, dude. Obviously, there's one way to pronounce it, but I've just heard so many different people pronounce it in different ways. I'm a fucking dumbass now, but anyway, just fucking Team Red. You know what I'm talking about, all right? Don't butcher me in the comments. If you know what I'm talking about, then that's all that matters, all right? Team Red, Team Yellow, or Team Blue? What's my favorite bird? Well, considering I'm on Team Mystic, I do think Articuno's pretty damn badass, but I do want to give props to Instinct where it's due, all right? The fucking Zapdos bird, all right? That dude looks pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. They all look badass, obviously, but I feel like in the game, like with the animation, Team Instinct has the best bird, all right? That yellow bird, he's kicking ass. But I feel like in a cartoon format, like not animated for the game. I feel like on like a card or something. I think the Team Redbird Moltres looks the best, to be honest. So I'm sorry, Team Mystic. You know, I gotta represent the Team Mystic, Team Blue, but you know, the bird is cool as well. Everyone has their opinions, you know what I mean? But for me, it's gotta be Zapdos, dude. Zapdos. It's a tie between Articuno and Moltres. I have to say that. Tie for second there. First place is Zapdos. Ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna wrap up this video. Let me know in the comment section below, what is your favorite